watching X-Men Omni with Justin and John. And their good friend, Hank. Hell yeah.
Wait, dude, I can't hear you at all.
I'm muted that whole time. Wonderful.
I was trying to.
Nobody was doing this move.
In the private chat, I was.
You're typing in the private chat. Hi, gang. Hi. How you doing?
Yeah, I told you. It's,
I haven't muted myself in a long time. Oh, you know what it was? I was shouting to my kids, "Hey, get off the Wi-Fi! Here I go live." And that was what it was.
Those dang kids.
Yeah. Welcome to Omni X-Men. It's not like I've been doing this show for 5 years and don't know how YouTube works. Welcome to Omni X-Men. Bobby De La Ghetto, thank you for shooting that video. Huge thank you to you, sir. And this is our Chris Claremont love show. We're talking New Mutants tonight.
Got it right here. And Magic Lasso says start the show over. Just start it over.
Yep, just reboot. Hard reboot.
30-second countdown.
We have to go back. Yeah. What's going on, man? Happy Tuesday night. It looked like you had an amazing weekend.
Yes, it was. The weekend is like still technically going. We even took off tomorrow, so we've been off since Thanksgiving. It's been a long weekend. We're having a lot of fun. My sleep is very much off, but I read today. Usually I read like earlier in the week, but today was the day I was reading as we were driving back from Atlantic City. So great times, and really pumped for tonight's issues. So
I tend to read this thing like 3 times. I get the
usually I do. Yeah,
make the slideshow is what I do first, and I'm just kind of skimming it, and then I read the Omni, and then I read the digital to like recap myself here.
See, I won't make the slideshow first because the spoilers. That's my main.
But thankfully, I've read most of these,
them, yeah.
So I have that benefit going in. Like,
true,
it's not messing with me too much.
That's fair.
So tonight we have a pretty awesome guest who not only that. He's gone through some big changes. He is all new. He is all different. This is the one and only Fable, one collection down.
Station,
my friend.
At first, I thought it was my computer.
No,
when I couldn't hear you.
It's me.
And then I started going like this.
No, it's me. All these people in the chat helping me out. All these people in the chat, John, get yourself together. Look, all these people reminding me. Get your act together. That's what that is.
What's going on, everybody?
Good
man.
to see you,
Excited to be here once again, man.
Absolutely.
And I dropped this link if you guys missed it, Friday night, the relaunch of Blame Fable happened, all new, all different. It was an amazing live stream with so many community member guests. That was absolutely off the wall. So much fun. So check that out. If you missed that, put it in your rewatch, replay, rewind list. Make sure you catch up on that.
I love the name Fable. Love the tagline.
Of course, man. I was doing
Spider-Man
theme for the last year, and I said I love Spider-Man, but you know I'm an X-Men guy, right?
Yeah,
we gotta do something for the X-Men this year. So
and all new, all different fits beautifully.
It's perfect.
Well played all the way. Yeah. Well, let's jump into the chat. Let's say hello to some friends who are helping us out. We got Las Cruces, who was in here 3 hours ago, an hour and a half ago, 40 minutes ago. Just making all the magic happen. Appreciate you, sir.
Great.
Big time. He's also, I don't know if you guys have this issue with Las Cruces. He's always the first commenter once the video is done, the live stream ends. He's got that first comment. He's like, boom, I'm going to leave the comment on the video. So the coming back later to leave a comment on the video, that's a top tier supporter, man, all the way. Hugely appreciate that. Yeah. We got Cali Comics, my man John. What's going on?
What's up,
never
Cali?
have enough Johns in California. I appreciate you, sir. We got Rob Boswell. He is the biggest community member on my channel memberships. He is number one, and he got to choose. He got to choose what I read and reviewed for the month of November. So you guys can expect a Spider-Gwen Ghost Spider review. All 7 issues I've read. I'm caught up completely on Ghost Spider. Expect that short video here soon.
Nice.
That huge nice. We got Christina Payne dropping all the links.
Christina,
channel moderator extraordinaire. She's way better than Thanos. She's collected way more YouTube Infinity Stones than anybody. I'm very impressed. I also spent the week making, important things happening at work. I made new emojis for my channel members. John AF, if you want AF. Just for the Magic Lasso fans, I got Wonder Woman. You can drop the Wonder Woman logo. Got the Avengers logo. Robin, you're a Robin fan like me. There's no Batman logo on this channel, but there's a Robin logo. You can drop that Robin logo. Get that Green Lantern ring if you want it. It's all happening in the chat. So channel members, enjoy those. What is going on? S. Vaughn. Scotty is in the chat. What is going on, Scotty?
Hey.
Good to see you guys. So many great homies in the chat. We got Magic Lasso. I was just talking to him last night. What's going on, Magic Lasso?
Ryan.
He says hi to Rachel Dinners, the boss ladies and gentlemen, Diana Ross, and the chat. What is going on? A mutant show, and the host is muted. That's pretty funny. That's pretty dang funny. Clever. We got Blue Manchu saying, wow, John's been doing that ever since he was on the Comic Core with me. That's how many years I've had to deal with that. That is John AF. That's right there. I've done it 3 times. If you think I've only done it 3 times in 6 years, that's a low ball guess, my man. That is a low ball guess. I'm just telling you. We got 9-panel grid in the chat station, homie. What is going on, buddy? Eric's always here, always helping out, always supporting. We got Adam make stuff up. Neighbor to the north. What is going on, Adam? We need to go comic hunting again here soon, my guy. I'm just telling you. We gotta go. We gotta hang out again soon. Brandon, holy flash from the past, man. A moderator from the past hanging out. What is going on, Brandon?
Look at that.
I hope your Thanksgiving was one filled with fellowship, friends, and family, my friend. I hope it was really good.
Nice.
Let's see. Got more homies. Look at all the people in the chat. Rob Boswell saying that is John AF. There it is. He's taking advantage, full advantage. Busy evening, but good. Thanks for asking. I hope that there's a lot of shows that you're watching. I know you're keeping track of everything. Rob Boswell's in Dollywood? I don't know. Maybe. One of my newest moderators. We got Richard Westfall in the chat. What is going on, Richard? Good to see you, my friend. Appreciate you, sir. All right. So we've caught up with the chat. It's only taken me 8 minutes to figure out how to use the mic and how to say hello to people. But we are now here. This is Omni X-Men. If you guys don't know, so many awesome links down below. Number 1 on that list is this guy's channel where we're going to be next Tuesday when we continue the saga of the New Mutants. Make sure you're subscribed. Make sure you're subbed up. Make sure you got the bell clicked so that when we go live next Tuesday, you are there and ready for that. Right. Number 1. Number 2, we got this gentleman's links. You can follow Fable on Instagram. You can follow him here on YouTube. You can be fully subbed up for all the great comic book top happening on this man's YouTube. So be ready for that.
Oh, yeah.
We've also got our buddy Rosko. Geeked Out with Rosko is our featured artist for this season. So his links are down below because he is not only did we commission a 2-sided sketch cover from this gentleman specifically for this New Mutant season. Not only are we going to give that away to you guys at the end of this season, but he donated half of the fee to Jennifer from Comic Books Will Break Your Hearts GoFundMe.
Amazing.
This guy is above and beyond.
Roscoe.
Way above and beyond.
Can't wait to see the artwork.
Support that guy because he supports so many of us in this channel and this YouTube and this whole crazy comic book community. Absolutely a phenomenal guy, and I'm so glad he said yes to this because I know it's a lot of time and effort for him. But we gave him hopefully enough lead time. He's going to have a year to draw this book for us.
Oh yes.
So appreciate you, Roscoe, big time.
See what he comes up with in 2 minutes, man. Imagine a year.
I mean,
that's
right?
True. Yeah, that's a good point.
You're not wrong. He's not wrong. And always, and again, every time there's like a C3, every time there's a Heroes for Heroes, every time there's a great charity auction, he is always donating his time and his product, and it's just absolutely incredible. So thank you, Roscoe. We love you, brother.
Yeah, man.
And then lastly, all the playlists for the previous seasons. If you want to go back and be like, hey, I want to catch up on some Omni X-Men, It's all in there. You can power if you're doing your power walking and you're getting fit for the new season, the new year. Hey, the links for all the playlists are down below too.
Do
all
some
right,
binging.
so
That's right.
stick around at the end. Trivia happens at the end. You can get on the list. You can win some great prizes when June and birthday time for this guy rolls around. You can win some good prizes, including that amazing sketch cover. So be ready for all of that.
That's right.
Now, but let's get to know Fable a little bit better. If you guys haven't been following him, if you've missed out until now, welcome to the gold. Welcome in. Fable, my question that I've asked a lot of people is a kind of this or that, because when people think of New Mutants, I think they think of two artists. They think of Bill Sienkiewicz and they think of Rob Liefeld. Obviously, it's easy to pick a favorite, but the question is, who do you think left a bigger thumbprint on New Mutants?
Oh, I mean, Sienkiewicz has some of the most classic covers on this run.
I mean, right?
Can't be denied. But I'm going to say Rob Liefeld, because Rob Liefeld left such an impression that they gave him his own damn book.
I mean, yeah, he rolled right into X-Force, right?
Good point.
And with all the Deadpool love lately, I mean, we all know where that comes from. So, yeah.
Fabian Nicieza, right? It's Fabian Nicieza, right? He's the one.
Yeah.
Yeah. Nice pick.
I mean, we do like him a lot. We gave him a lot of love, but I think most people don't think of Bob McLeod when they think of New Mutants. Most of the time, I feel like they get those other two guys. Nobody, and here's the funny thing, Brandon. Nobody wants to say Liefeld, but I feel like the way I ask that question, it forces you to pick Liefeld.
Yeah.
Because
I'll tell you what. I
was a Liefeld nut when I was a kid reading these books. I was obsessed. I was rolling right into X-Force. I was there for it.
Yeah, when he picked it up, it got hot, and I mean really hot. And that New Mutants 100 was a must-have. Like,
oh my god!
Everybody was looking for that.
And that X-Force 1, you read them together, they like join up. And he was doing jeans commercials with Spike Lee, so he's clearly doing something right.
There you go.
Selling them jeans. We got Bobby De La Ghetto in the chat station. To you, Bobby.
Station, Bobby.
Appreciate you starting this show off for us well tonight, even though I didn't. You crushed that. The next question is, I don't know where you feel about that Liefeld era, but it clearly comes down to two new characters, Cable and Deadpool. Do you have a favorite of those two?
Oh, I would definitely say Cable, man. Cable was such a badass man from the future. Then when you found out who he was, it was like, what?
Right?
I'm like, wait, who is he? Fable, who is he?
Deadpool wasn't Deadpool till much later. Like, it wasn't the Deadpool that we know.
Fact. It took so long. And then wasn't it Jerry Duggan and several other guys who really created the language of Deadpool that is now common. Yeah. See, this is why you and I get along. We have the same feelings on New Mutants. It all starts here.
Absolutely.
Now, New Mutants has had several formations, right? Several groups, several restarts. Is there a New Mutant who is like your New Mutant? Like, this is my person. This is the New Mutant character for me.
Man, that's a tough one. I always go between the best friends, Sam and Robbie. Right?
Yeah,
that's his name.
Yeah.
But I'll probably say Cannonball. I'll probably say Sam.
Look at this.
Very spot on.
We're vibing right now. It's all happening. Ruben Guzman is in the chat. Cool, collected, dropping some of those X-Men emojis. I appreciate you, sir. He even dropped the Storm and Cyclops one just because JP's not here. He did it for him. I appreciate that. You did? Oh, Marcus. You're growing, buddy. You're growing. I appreciate you, sir. Big. He's all grown up. All grown up. Well, let's dive into tonight's issues. We got two, and I've already used up 15 minutes. I'm clearly Justining this show tonight. Be ready. Ah, dang it. JP is here.
But I am
talked about him under my breath. The guy showed up. What are you gonna do? All right, well, let's jump right in. Tonight, Brian, what's going on, LCS? We are talking about New Mutants 11 and 12. This takes us back to cover dates of January and February of 84. Sal Buscema and Tom Mandrake on artwork here. Going all the way back, old school. And let's spend a little time on these covers. Oh, we got Cliff in the chat. And of course, as we know, Cliff is in the chat. What's going on, Cliff? And why is it not going forward for me? Where's my slideshow? What's going on?
Darn you, technology.
I know. Well, can we do it? Can we go forward, backwards? I'm gonna have to stop sharing here real quick. Sorry, guys.
Little reset.
Presenting again. Yeah.
By the way, quick as you're setting that up, John, Fable, quick question for you. When I know you mentioned backstage that you had caught up, you binged through, all the previous issues coming up to 11 and 12. My question is, was that the very first time you read through those issues, or was it something you had read when you were younger? Just like a while ago.
Oh yeah, I read it when I was a kid, but we're talking like 30 years ago, man.
Okay, so it's been, you haven't really read.
So it's like brand new to me. Again,
cool.
I mean, it's just little things come back to me here and there, but
sure,
cool. A lot of stuff like I didn't expect Rain to be the first thing you see.
Right.
In the graph, that's the first character you kind of see or introduced to. So I was just like, wow, she's been there since page 1.
Yeah,
crazy.
Right.
Yeah,
for sure.
That's awesome.
All right, let's try this again. Take 2. Yeah. These
go.
are liquid hot magma covers. I had to do this just for Justin. I know he's ready.
My favorite.
Hot magma. But yeah, let's talk about these fire covers, Justin. Obviously, we had talked a little bit about the challenges in drawing Roberto all in black when he is full, sunspot look here. But now we've got a similar looking design for Magma Amara here in her new look.
Yeah.
What are your thoughts on these 2 covers?
So I have mixed feelings about how Magma is drawn. I love the color. I love the design in her, I guess, like outfit, or however you want to, describe it as. There's certainly more detail as opposed to Sunspot from my previous kind of like, things I've been pointing out from it. I think it's the face for me that's like a little bit of a, I don't know. It just throws me off a little bit. Maybe how the eyes are drawn more on, on the second issue than the first, obviously.
Okay.
Right on. Yeah. So, but yeah, I mean, ultimately, as a new character, I could see them, just testing everything out and seeing how this is all going to lay out. So I love the flames just like all over her body, essentially, which looks really cool. And then I like in the second issue, the team down at the bottom reminds me very much of kind of like the classic, like Doctor Doom, Fantastic Four covers where he's looking over the FF. And that, like him and when Daredevil teamed up with FF, that classic issue. So I felt like it was almost like an homage. I actually would like to see them side by side at one point, since you see the city line and everything, even though that's Brazil. But I think these are great. Definitely stand out to me, and obviously would get me, pulled in as far as wondering who is this character, what's going on. So
sure. Cliff, I'm sorry I didn't click on you and say hi to you. He says he's got a big guest coming on Saturday, so make sure you subscribed over to Cliff. Appreciate you, sir.
Nice.
Brian LCS telling us how much he loves Cyclops and sharing that with JP. Brandon's talking about Sal Buscema's art, really enjoying that, and the Hulk run he did. JP saying hi to everybody except Bobby. Appreciate all of this love going on here. Gore Vidal says Cyclops is so misunderstood. He's been through so much. Yeah, adultery will do that to you. It will do that to you. We got Old Wolf in the chat. What's going on, Tony? Good to see you, Tony. How you guys doing? All right, so Fable, what are your thoughts on these 2 covers that we get here? Obviously, a lot of exciting color work certainly happening.
Oh, I love it, man. I love it. You said it. Both of you said it. The color work, the character taking center stage, the design of this character with the red lava must have been, this was definitely deliberately thought out, for this character, how they're going to design her rather. And I agree, man. It definitely would have pulled me in as a kid to pick up these. I think these are probably the best ones to this point, right? From 1 to 12. I think this is the highlight right now.
Sure. Yep. Awesome. JP is giving up on Marcus after talking about how much he likes Cyclops. So it's all changing here on that channel. What's up, Chill Out? Good to see you, sir. He's saying station to all the homies in the chat.
Nice.
Let's dive into issue number 11. Get us kickstarted here. For those that don't remember where we left off, Amara, the daughter of a new Nova Roma senator, was cast into a fiery magma pit by Selene the sorceress, and thinking that she was going to sacrifice one more victim to her magical powers, she was stunned to see magma rise from the magma. And here we've got Amara basically standing up to Selene and fighting back and saying, you can't just kill me. I'm reborn now. I'm a very, very Phoenix-y moment for her coming up out of the lava like Phoenix came out of the water. And Selene tries to use her abilities to bring rocks to life and sort of combat her. Danny Moonstar on the ground there in a random bikini again is sort of caught in the midst of all of this, trying to just decipher what's happening. Selene is aging back and forth. We see her getting older as she spends all the remaining magic inside of her. Then we see her sacrifice a huge group of New Rome citizens and become young all over again. Danny's just, shocked by what all is going on. And in the end, they try to douse Selene in magma, try to just basically melt her down. And Danny's like, I am out of here. I am not fighting lava in a bikini. Lots happening when we get started here, Justin. We're diving right into the action where we left off.
Oh yeah, big time. I'll tell you, I am a big Game of Thrones fan, and Selene, more and more as I'm reading, more about her and learning more of her powers, and also like her well-being, or in this case, like her becoming very old and gaining youth again, reminds me of the Red Witch for anybody who's ever watched Game
Absolutely.
of Thrones. So and just the evilness, and she's very pretty, but then also very, very old, and all this other stuff. So and then also very powerful. I think it's pretty wild to see that she can just turn these mountains into creatures the way she did in that middle panel there.
Right.
I think is one of the coolest ones, just to see her do that, and even the ones next to it where she's like throwing her hand up in flame as they battle it out. I was excited to see Magma. I love seeing Magma's name written, down the side, I guess right here.
Right there next to you.
Yeah, as just that opening splash page. I know you guys talked a little bit about Sal Buscema. He's fantastic. Like, I really, really am enjoying his artwork through a lot of this, and the detail and face and the close-ups and stuff like that too, that we'll get more of down the road here. And then to see her disciples being sacrificed, like, I wonder how she got them to be on her side, other than maybe magic. But like, there's one that says, yes, we served you well. They're shouting as they're getting thrown into the magma, or into the lava. But then someone else is like, have mercy, spare us, priestess, no. They're all shouting, and it's like, she has no problem. Like, if they must have seen this happen before, where some of their buddies got thrown into the lava too, and now she's just like, oh, I got to be young again. Hey, you, yeah, you three going in right now. And they're like, wait, hold on. Like, of course you're gonna go down eventually. You know? Like, so why support?
You like Survivor? This should be in keeping with what you're enjoying.
Yeah, I guess you got.
Which one of the Nova Roma people will survive to the end, right?
Yeah. Oh God, yeah, to the death. That's brutal.
Fable, I don't know how familiar you are with Selene. Obviously, she has a pretty long storied X-Men villainess sort of history here. It's kind of fun to see her at the beginning of all of this. Did you have any thoughts rereading this as far as her villainy here at the beginning?
I was going to ask you guys that too. Is this her first appearance in this run?
It's the third, obviously. Yeah. So whatever 10 or 9 and 10 were her first appearances, and then this would be the third.
Yeah, I was kind of surprised to see that she came from this Nova Roma and this hidden society in the Brazilian mountains. That was a pretty cool thing to find out. But yeah, man, she's OP. She's super OP in this thing. Like, mind you, she's getting the lava, whatever. She's fighting lava. She's turning the rocks alive. And then what really got me was like, okay, magma just doused her in a shower of freaking lava, and I'm like, oh, she's cooked. She's cooked. There's no way.
Going back to that, right?
And then
she only lasted 4 pages.
Like,
she's alive and looking great.
Yeah, great stuff for sure. That's a great question, Richard. Obviously, like, every book is different. Do you want to start with the slow burn? Do you want to jump right into the action? I think this was a good example of doing the dive right into the action method right off the bat. Somebody named Old Wolf should not talk about how they like miners in their bikinis. Like, let's just get this guy out of my chats. I don't know what's going on. I love this reference from Adam talking about Lion King, where Scar's singing in his lair and all the like pillars are going up and down. And this does give Scar vibes for sure. Like nice. Yeah. Let's see. Did we mix anybody? We got Conlon Comics, another one of my channel members. What's going on, Conlon? Happy Tuesday. I hope you had a nice Thanksgiving as well. Yeah, man. Nova Roma sounds like a gallon-sized bottle of Red Table wine. Okay.
Yeah.
Fair.
I can see that.
Typing out load.
Bobby said Magma AF.
It is. She is. But let's continue along here. Danny is struggling to escape all of the drama happening around her. And even Amara seems almost out of control at this point and has to be talked down. Danny tries to like read and use her abilities to see what she fears and is thinking. And it clearly is melting Danny down. And she's like, oh my God, she's scared that she's going to kill me. And she tries to talk Amara down. Amara's abilities are waxing and waning as far as her ability to control herself. And that gives Celine the time to show up again and say, I didn't actually die. I'm still here. And I'm going to turn you back into another bikini girl and drop you in the other lady's hands, because that's what I do now. You all just magically appear in bikinis again. So obviously a lot of like powerful women at play here. Fable, I'm going to throw it to you. Like, what were your thoughts when you're like, oh, Celine's back and Magma's now down? Like the flips and everything back and forth.
Well, first I'm like, Danny, man, get a control of yourself. Jesus Christ. You just lose your powers at the wrong time every damn time. Jesus Christ. But no, man, this definitely made me feel like Celine is kind of unstoppable, man. You know what I mean? She just she wrapped this magma in whatever green power she had there. And like you said, she's back in her bikini. I'm like, God damn, it killed her. I thought she was dead. So, you know, I was just like, man, I don't know how they're going to stop this lady. It's going to be interesting to find out.
Definitely a challenge, right? Definitely a challenge. Happy birthday to Kenneth Bird, 65 years young today.
Kenneth,
thank you for spending a little bit of that birthday with us. We appreciate you, sir. So yeah, Justin, we got, you know, bikinis in Brazil. It's kind of like a normal thing. I think we're kind of normalized now.
Yeah, it's interesting that, like, I mean, these last 3 issues has kind of been like that with, I don't know. It's Celine, right? Celine's the one that's kind of, or at least she's having her disciples dress them up like this as they're in her lair now or whatever. So that's, I don't know what the added effect is for Celine to want to kind of be set up like that. But, you know, she's still living in like ancient times, I guess. And just, I don't know, just not letting them wear the clothes they wear. I don't know. It's weird. But what I find interesting about these pages is that Amara, while we see her in the very beginning, we got to remember, like, Amara is not this person that has this mental or this mindset of like, I am this superhero and this is how I talk and this is how I stand and all these things. And she's really just, I mean, I don't know her age in this or as of right now, I assume she's older than the kids.
Relatively like similar age.
Like maybe in her 20s or something to that effect. But either way, like, I think that she's still very much just like, yeah, I mean, she's just like, she was a regular person and now she's realizing she has these powers. So for her to come up in the beginning and seem like like Phoenix rising, you know, from the waters type thing, and then to see that she's really terrified, she's scared to death about her own powers. It's all happening so quick for her. So for her to be terrified of her own powers, not really, you know, not sure what else you can do, but at the same time she has to play it off to Celine like, yeah, I'm a hero, I'll knock you out, like that kind of thing. I find interesting that she's kind of going back and forth with that. Meanwhile, Danny, as Fable pointed out, accidentally kind of shows her fears out of her own like fear and letting loose of her powers. And the fear itself is showing that, you know, Magma is just scared of hurting this girl. And so that alone just brings you right back to earth of like, okay, like, yeah, she's just battling her own demons right now and terrified. And we're quickly reminded that, like, just like every mutant we've seen so far, they're not used to these powers. And when they are, they're like, I'm a monster or I look scary or I'm, you know, whatever, and they don't know how to react to it otherwise. So I like that they take the time to like kind of show this, because it just seems so realistic that, yeah, if we're just living our life and the next thing you know, we have these random these are like, you know, amazing powers. And, you know, what would one of our fears be? Yeah, maybe accidentally killing, you know, some other human being. So, yeah, I think it's good.
We got Comic Cap Collectibles in the chat. What is going on, sir? Appreciate you coming by and hanging out with us for a sec. And we got Candace Barbosa in the chat. What's going on, Candace?
Hey, Candace.
Good to see you here. I hope things are going well for you. Yes, I blame everything on you, Tony. I don't blame Rio. All right. So we continue along in our story here, and we jump to the rest of the team. For those that don't remember, there is sort of a Game of Thrones-like power play happening in Nova Roma between Galileo, who seems to be controlling most of the Centurion guards in the city, and Amara's dad, who has recently been taken into custody for being a betrayer of the state. And our heroes are kind of caught in the middle, with some on either side debating who they really can trust. They fought hard to make sure that Amara's dad wasn't killed when he was arrested and instead was able to stand trial. But it does not seem like it's going to go very well. Meanwhile, Roberto is missing mom. He thinks that she died, but he also thought he kind of saw her a couple of times with the slaves in town. So he takes out a centurion, dresses in his garb, and goes down to where they're keeping the slaves to kind of see what's going on. And who does he find? He finds Piranha Man Castro, the guy who seems to have been behind the scenes the last few issues trying to kill the New Mutant characters. And what's he doing? He's torturing mom. And he seems to be admitting that he has a job to do relating to Roberto's dad, that he has been tasked to do some things for Galileo, but at the same time, it's overlapping with other things that he's doing. Of course, this doesn't sit well with Roberto, who bursts in and just busts right out of that costume and rock'em sock'em robots this guy. Castro goes down, and mom and son are reunited. So lots going on here, Justin. This was like Roberto comes to throw down. What were your thoughts on the, end of Castro, the Piranha Man?
Yeah, I'm really happy to see that not only was it the end of Castro, but also the fact that it was by Bobby's hand, like that, Roberto was the one to actually be able to do it. And this is a big moment here for Roberto to find his mom. Like, he kept feeling like he was seeing her in the crowds and being arrested and all these other things, and was just like questioning things. So this was, a nice way to for him to realize, okay, I'm not insane. I thought I saw what I saw. And then obviously just getting his mom back, that's just huge. So, it looked like she was going to be left there for dead, or who knows what, Castro and the rest of, his bosses had planned. But nice to see him get knocked out there on the far hand side there.
Just laid him out.
Yeah.
So Fable, for you, I don't know how you're feeling about Roberto at this point. He's got kind of an interesting story going on with his parents, and his mom and dad, and they're infighting. What is it that you're taking away from some of this relationship with his parents?
He clearly loves both his parents. He loves his father, and finding out the betrayal from his dad hits him pretty hard. But he's been waiting to beat somebody up for a long time. He's been reading his issue 1, and maybe even kill somebody. They've had to talk him off the ledge of murder a few times. Yeah. So when I saw this guy Castro who's abusing his mom, I'm like, oh my God, it's over for this guy. He's done.
I mean, this guy's been driving me up the wall since we started seeing him like 3 issues ago. He's just been like, throwing, trying to feed Danny to piranhas, and he's been torturing like Amara when she was still looking like a native girl, and lots of crazy stuff going on with this
which
guy,
is her greatest power. We forgot to say that's Amara's greatest power, to look like a native.
To look like an Amazonian, not your kind, Lasso, an Amazonian, like a legit Brazilian Amazonian.
But what I appreciate most about all of this is the intricacy, like the web of relationships that Claremont is able to weave. This guy's working for this guy who's trying to help this guy, and then, you know what I mean? There's a lot going on here. And it's brilliantly done. I mean, it's easy to mess stuff like this up, but Claremont keeps everybody on track with who's who, which players are which players,
Sure. Absolutely. Let's see. Should we continue on here? Justin, did you have anything you want to add to what's going on with Roberto here?
Yeah, no. Yeah, we got it. Yeah.
All right.
Good to go.
Now we jump to the throne room, where we've got Galileo kind of having ladies feed his friends grapes, and he's getting Amara's dad tortured on at his feet, and all of it seems to be going to plan. Although Sam and Rain are both questioning their play in all of this and what it all kind of means. And that's when Amara bursts through the floor, because Lava Girl's still Lava Girl, and you thought you'd killed her, but she's back again. And she's looking for dad and trying to make things like work again. And the team decides, you know what, we need to be on the right side of this. Here comes Roberto and his mom with all the slaves, and they're just basically leading a riot against Galileo. It's all going down. Our heroes are flying across the room, punching gladiators, knocking the centurions down. Rain is even like flipping guys over that are coming at her with spears. So the team seems to have officially chosen a side here, right, Justin? Like they're giving up on this Galileo guy. Sorry, Rain, you picked the wrong horse. We're going with Amara and her dad.
Yeah, they quickly are like, putting all the pieces together and figuring out that they were backing the wrong horse for quite some time now, and now they want to make up for it. They want to do everything they can, and obviously, Roberto showing up with the rest of the army from technically Amara's dad's side, or what was left of them, getting them together was a very much a on your left kind of moment there. So it's cool to see this, this battle, break out between armies, and kind of really to catch them off guard. And kind of brutal to see, Amara's, dad getting beaten to death. He's not just like thrown in a dungeon or whatever, but this guy's making sure to go out of his way to have this guy tortured and miserable before doing anything else with him. So you see on his back, you see the scars and the slashes and everything else, while everybody else, as you pointed out, is just eating grapes and hanging out and drinking wine and all that stuff. And then man, I'll tell you what, this guy Galileo, he is like him and his poison, him and his drugs. Like, this whole entire time, like he's just like, all right, now Sam's starting to get onto me, Rain's starting to get onto me. Let's poison them. Hey, cheers, everybody! Drink up. Like again, like last two issues or episodes, this guy has no problem drugging children. It's just crazy.
he's the P. Diddy of Nova Roma.
I mean, you're not wrong.
So accurate. He's the Bill Cosby of Nova Roma. Yeah. All right, well, Fable, what are your thoughts here on this is the red wedding of this Game of Thrones storyline here. We're getting the implosion of Galileo's empire here, as he's kind of like his whole power play falls apart.
Yeah. I mean, it's great. I love that everybody finally falls on the same page. Rain's in love. That's the context that we're missing here. Rain's in love with Sam. And she's just jealous of Amara. That's all that's going on here. But she finally figures, I'm wrong for that. I still gotta do what's right. But one of the things here that I don't know how you guys feel about this, and maybe it's a little blasphemous to say, but sometimes Claremont does, like, he just skips whole things.
Yeah.
Right? He just
not blasphemous. No, that's accurate.
Like he Sam just told his mom to get the Amazonians, the damn soldiers, all the slaves and all that.
Yeah.
And then on the next page, they're all there.
Yeah.
She executes that order really well.
He's keeping it tight within his 22, 23 pages,
Yeah. And that's why I appreciate him in a lot of ways, because he does a lot of story really fast, you know what I mean? Whereas in modern comics, this would have probably stretched out for another 4 issues, man.
It's a mini series.
Definitely. Yep.
No, that's a great point, and I think it's fair to make that for sure. JP says I got a lot of commercials. I guess I got to look at my settings. I'll make sure I check.
Yeah, see, a lot of people saying they got like 5 commercials.
Sorry, 4 commercials already in 30 minutes. American Gladiators. Big fans. We were big fans. In fact, we named our first dog Malibu after the Gladiator. So just had to throw that in there. Nice. We got Perry, the comic lore, in the chat. He's using all the new emojis. He's throwing it all down. But you guys should follow Perry's new channel. He's actually been doing some great reviews, breakdowns of comics. Really cool stuff. I think all Wonder Woman emojis are for you, Ryan. I think they're all for you. There you go. See, all just for you. All right.
By the way, yes, Adam.
Did Rain jump? Yes.
Yeah.
Sorry.
It looks pretty cool. No, yeah, just something I kind of missed that in that one set of panels you have in the middle. Yeah. She's literally diving over the one bar that separates those panels and lands right there. It looks, it's really well done. Actually, I like that. Good point out.
All right, so let's continue along here. This all comes to a head as swords are drawn between Galileo and Amara's dad, and Amara's dad just finishes it off. He's like, I'm done playing games with you. I may look like I'm a little out of weight, but I'm definitely better than your weight class. And he just puts him down. Yeah. And then the team is like, hey, this was really great. But wasn't there like an evil sorceress that was married to that guy that we were battling not too long ago? We should figure out where she went. So they they follow this tunnel up a ways, and when they do, they clearly fall right into her trap. They get encased in these weird like stalactite tentacle things, and they're almost captured. But several of the team members use their abilities to kind of bust through this. Sam obviously blasting through. Magma is able to then melt things down. Roberto is able to like use his abilities. So several of them are able to escape this trap, but we're definitely right in the midst of like one bad guy and his wife here. Justin, any thoughts on Galileo and how he gets it, or Celine and how she's setting herself up to be a winner?
Yeah, so I obviously I love that Galileo got what was coming to him, and it was at the hand of his main nemesis, or between the two of them not getting along, and Amara's dad being the one to finish him off. I do wish that we got a little bit more of it, just because he was such a villain for the last 3 issues, and it's kind of the deal is sealed just in these panels that we see here. And I do like the bright red as he stabs him and all that stuff. I mean, I guess it's pretty straightforward. I guess there isn't much else to show, but maybe I don't know, take up more of the page for that or something before we move on. I think
and that's kind of what Fable was saying too, about like taking time to show all the little things as opposed to like move the story along. We got to get to the other villain, because the Celine is the
so
focus.
Much, yeah,
forget these senators.
yeah, really. But I am glad. I am glad that Galileo kind of got his at the end there. And then what else? Oh yeah, just starting to see those hands, those whatever you call those things, the tentacles. I guess
they're stalactites.
Yeah. Just
they call
taking
them
over.
Yeah,
right. And then but then of course Sam just kind of bursting through, having no problem there. Good to see him, and we'll learn a little bit more about. Or I guess is it there? Bobby struggling with
There's no daylight for him, right? They're in a cave. His powers are a little limited because of where they're at, right?
Yeah, and I like that we're still learning. We don't fully understand how Bobby's abilities work yet. Like for the most part, we get the gist, but we know that there's a timeline or an amount that he can exhaust before he's out. But like, what is that? What is that based on? Is it just like a phone battery, you charge up for the day and then you're out, or are there other ways around it? I guess maybe we'll, learn down the road, but if you use it all up in the middle of the day, is there a way to actually get the sunlight again, or I don't know. I'm very curious about his abilities still. So it's cool to kind of see little bits and pieces. Yeah.
So Fable, I'm going to click one slide forward and show a little bit of stuff here, but you take me back if you need to go back. But we get Celine, and now she's got Danny dressed in disco nightwear, and she's basically capturing the team up and trying to manipulate all of them into basically giving her all the power she needs. The team tries to use their abilities against her. Rain does her wolf attack. No, that doesn't do much. Danny tries to make her greatest fear come to life, and it's her own mortality, but that's not strong enough to do anything. Finally, Sam's like, you know what? We need all of our powers, which means I got to bust a hole in the wall here, make sure that Roberto can get his full power up. Then we're going to have Magma going after this girl. We're going to have Roberto going after this girl. And finally, Roberto's like, you know what? If you want something done right, do it yourself. I'm going to throw her right into the lava, and then I'm going to bury her with all these rocks. I'm just going to dump all the rocks on top of her and take the bikini lady down to Rio and back to the beach. That's his big plan. So that's how it all comes to this issue comes to an end here. Fable, what are your thoughts on these big endings, this big showdown?
Oh, well, I agree with Justin about Galileo getting his. It should have been a longer fight for sure. He's been the main antagonist through the whole like arc and stuff. So just one little panel of him getting stabbed, which I was happy that he got stabbed that way. Like, got him good. Yeah,
gladiator style.
Yeah, and I was also like, damn, Celine don't give a shit about my boy. Because she was all like, I'm your wife and I'm here to help you, ascend to the throne. It was like, forget that guy, That means she didn't even worry about him anymore. But what was cool about all of this ending was how they all used their powers in unison to take down Celine. And also it showed Robbie's murderous tendencies again. Like I told you before. Robbie's been waiting to kill somebody, bro. And they even told him, like, no, you shouldn't have done that. He's like, screw that. I don't care. It had to be.
He's angry. He's angry. Yeah.
Be mad at me later.
Right.
That was awesome. I liked it, man. I loved it.
Awesome. And Justin, any thoughts here on how this all comes down? They seem to figure out a way around Celine's abilities here at the end.
Yeah, I mean, I like that. As to Fable's point, they're working as a team again. I mean, we kind of been seeing this the last couple issues. Anytime we have to take out, a big boss style of villain, and Celine definitely, qualifies for something of that nature. Should not be easy. So I mean, even at one point, Bobby being able to stab her with a blade or a sword, and she just laughs it off. It's like, just gives you more of an understanding of really how powerful Celine really is. Even though everyone else is kind of trying to take shots as well. I do find it interesting that we get to see her fear in that pink screen there with the image of death, or a skull of her kind of getting eaten and just being represented as being afraid of death itself. Again, I say this every time, but I love Danny's powers. I love there's so much you could do with that, and for her to reveal that information, even just for the reader, is really great, just to know more about Celine and the truth. Really, it's like a truth serum in a way. She can't bluff, she can't act, no, that's not what I'm really afraid of, or whatever. It's like, no, you, like, Danny pulled it out of you. That's what you're terrified of. So,
but it's also very visually interesting, right? Like you were saying, the color work and the artistic kind of design of it is very interesting.
Yeah, big time. So yeah, it's great to see that. And then also to Fable's point, just Bobby said, "Hey, do this. We're throwing her in. That's it. Like, we're done." And Sam, it was Sam, I think, that was like, "Hey, come on, guys. We're not killers. We don't do that thing." He's like, "Hey,
Roberto's done." He's like,
dude. He's like, have you not seen, like?" He's like, and I think Bobby's right. Like, she is not your average, person. And even that, what he did, she's probably not dead. She's probably, it's only gonna.
We know she's not, because we've seen her in X-Men comics.
That's right. Yes, that's right.
She's in that fourth omnibus, which happens after this. So
yes,
she's still going. She was in
just hold her.
She's in Excalibur in the Krakoan era, so she's still going.
That's right.
She's still going.
He's like, this only buys us a couple issues, guys. That's
all we need. We need to get just the girls in bikinis back to the beach. That's all we need.
Yeah.
Right? She says, wait. The story ends with him taking a girl out to a bikini off in the sunset. That's the trauma movie ending. Fair. It's accurate. Well, let's continue it along to the next issue, where we get the evil, somewhat villainous Emmanuel DaCosta arriving to his fancy penthouse office, only to find his son sitting in the chair, basically one-upping him with the Dutch tilt there, just like in the green suit, saying, "Look, Dad, you've been pulling some shenanigans. I had to save Mom. You were destroying the rainforest. You're out here being scummy. I'm not letting you have this." And then Dad's like, "No, look, I'm doing what's right. I'm out here trying to I've taken care of you your whole life. Show some respect." And Son's like, "Look, then I don't need you anymore. Then I'm a single child. Like, I only got a mom now. I'm gonna go take care of her." And he turns all like boss. He's like, "Look what I can do. I got a mutant ability. I'm a mutant now, and I don't need you. Plus, I live in a mansion, so I got my own money, right?" And he walks out, and Dad's like, "You know what? I'm so angry. I'm gonna join the Hellfire Club because I need to get laid, and I need to get laid now." So he calls up Sebastian Shaw. Is that not what? Maybe I'm summarizing. He calls up Sebastian Shaw, and he's like, "You know that deal about me joining the Hellfire Club? I'm in. Let's just make this magic happen." And Roberto storms out, and the whole time he's thinking about how his mom, before he stormed up here, his mom had told him, "But I still love your dad. There's a good man inside of there somewhere. I still love him." And Roberto's like, "That's just noise. I threw a sorceress into a lava pit and buried her alive, and she didn't do hardly anything to me personally. My dad did way worse. I'm going to find a volcano for this guy." That's what I took away from all this. I don't know, Justin, how you feeling about jump in here? Did I summarize that well? Sorry.
I think you're spot on, my friend. I think you're spot on.
I might improvise a little.
Almost word for word with everything. I love the splash page, that we get here. Roberto chilling in the chair. All the way down to the T of his eyes being closed, like his face expression and how he's talking. Yeah, he's very much like father. Like, it's very Godfather. Like, like, have a seat. So I like that. You learn a little bit more of a history with it, his dad and everything else. The detail and drawing, artwork wise, the close-ups of the faces, Bobby's in particular, really, really love the detail that I know we're so with Sal Buscema and Mandrake technically doing the finishing for these issues. And then I'm like trying to understand what's Emmanuel, right? Is that his
Emmanuel?
first name? Yeah. So his dad, Emmanuel, like I'm trying to understand his angle still, because even I don't know, like through all this and even the previous issues, it's like he didn't want to like have his family hurt, but he wanted him out of the way. But then he went as far as hiring that guy Castro and doing all this other stuff, and who was basically willing to hurt and kill Bobby's mom and and like do anything that it takes. And then he acts like he cares here, like he acts like he's like he still tries to be his father. You don't talk to me that way, and if you leave here, like you're dead to me, like all these things. And then when Bobby leaves, he's angry. He breaks the glass with his hand. So clearly it bothers him, that Bobby's out, Bobby's out, his mom's out. And if you look at the panels where he actually calls up Sebastian Shaw, the way I took it, it looks like his eyes are watery. And I don't know if that was meant to be, or
the dad's under his eye has a little bit of white, and I don't know if it's just like the style or if it generally is showing some emotion. I couldn't pick that up either.
I took it as emotion, and that he's so angry of everything he did, and that fine, my son is gone, my wife is gone, I'm gonna go and do the thing that is gonna completely separate us for the rest of our lives, and I'm gonna join the Hellfire Club. And he does it, but he's like torn about it. He's like angry about it, or he's like angry sad. So I'm like, if he's angry sad, he clearly really cares.
He really liked that teacup, and then he was really mad that he broke it. He was in his feels about it.
Or he really likes the all the women that showed up from the last time, the
Hellfire ladies. Yeah, I mean, who doesn't, right?
But so anyway, I just found it interesting, and I'm still a little questioning on his dad, where he stands, because I feel like a part of him cares, and we're not, I don't want to dismiss this whole story, and I hope we keep it going or learn more about the dad and the relationship with his son, because I do think something's there. Again, unless those eyes are not actually crying and it's just like drawn out.
It's hard to tell, and I think you could read it either way for sure. But Fable, I was curious your thoughts, because obviously at this point we've only gotten a little bit of Emmanuel DaCosta, and he's always been this mustache twirling, I'm here to destroy the environment and take all the money I can get out of it. Wahaha, kind of he's very one note, right? What are your thoughts? Yeah, what are your thoughts on Roberto's dad?
Well, first we got to talk about Bobby's fashionable sense over here with the slime green suit. I don't know what's going on here.
Colin's right. It is sharp.
No, I think the father cares about his family, like Justice said. He just wanted them out the way. He's mad. He's angry at his wife because his wife wasn't a home wife. She was out there being an archaeologist and shit. That just didn't, He's a machismo guy. You know what I'm saying? He wants his wife at home. So
he married a redhead. What was he thinking?
But like you said, when he broke the cup, I think right? That's a cup that he broke.
It's like teacup.
It kind of showed his anger. And Justin, to your point, what was the guy's name that was over there trying to kill him? Castro?
Yeah.
That he hired.
He didn't work for the dad. He worked for Sebastian Shaw.
The Hellfire Club, yeah.
Yeah, so Sebastian Shaw is trying to play the dad as well to make him come to the dark side. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, what I want to know furthermore is what Sebastian Shaw, because he's been in the background of all the arcs so far.
That's true.
With Gyrick, right? In the beginning with the Sentinels and all of that. Now this, I'm like, what's he playing at? What's his gripe with the New Mutants, man?
Right.
Mm-hmm. Good questions. Good call. Yeah, and that's obviously information we haven't fully gotten yet. At this point, it's all very kind of new as we watch this family and at odds with each other. But let's go to the beach. Let's jump to the beach. And this is where I had some issues with this sequence because it jumps in time. And I had to read every time I read it. I was like, okay, I think I know kind of what he was doing. First, we've got Amara and Danny bikiniing it up in Rio, enjoying the aftermath of Nova Rome. But then we jump back to Nova Rome where we see Amara basically talking to her dad saying, like, I need to get out of here. Like, this is not my life anymore. And then in the midst of her indecision, a small volcano erupts in the floor, and dad's like, okay, yeah, you should go. This is bad. I don't think we should do this. And then she's at the beach and they get hit on by some very aggressive, I should say, gentlemen. And the when one kiss goes a little too hard, Amara creates a volcano in the middle of the bay. In the middle of the bay in Rio, a volcano erupts. So, she's Hot Lips Houlihan here. She's really got the energy going. Fable. I don't know. This is a woman with another trope of Claremont, right? The woman who can't control her emotions and her powers, and as a result is somewhat tempestuous. We got a new Phoenix, basically, right?
Yeah, he's definitely. I mean, I don't think it's just the women. I think it's all the kids. Like Justin was saying earlier, they're all dealing with their powers for the first time, kind of. And clearly, all these kids need an Xavier in their lives, because whenever they get pissed off or emotional, man, they cause havoc, man.
Yeah.
This, I'm sorry, this killed somebody. They may not show that, but this killed somebody.
Yeah,
for sure.
And Dad was a little too casual about like, yeah, you lit a volcano in the middle of my bedroom, but you should go. Like, I don't need you don't need help from me. I'm just your dad, right?
Yeah,
he was
definitely trying to get rid of her.
Go about your life.
He's like, yeah.
So we got another great dad here, Justin, right?
yeah, like Kitty Pryde. Yeah, like I it is funny to see the reaction, like the lava coming out of the ground, and it does seem like she's freaked out about it, but the dad's almost more like, "Oh, come here, honey, it's okay. Like, it happens all the time," like, kind of thing. But yeah, like, first of all, I mean, the aggressive guy at the beach, like, come on, man, woo, Jesus, like, I mean, she like called 911. We got to like. I'm glad
he's got a Speedo and everything too. He's going for
it. Yeah. I was like, who is this guy? But I like that she was like, she's up in arms, and Danny kind of falling back with when the lava comes bursting out. But like, I do like that we get a little bit of a moment though between Amara and her dad, just like getting in her. Again, they kind of use. Like the trope that you mentioned, the Claremont kind of trope or mutant trope of like, hey, you're a kid, you don't know how to use your powers, we're going to send you off to power school, and you learn how to use your powers, like that kind of thing. So like, I think it's just kind of a reminder, and especially for anybody who might have just jumped in midway, to be like, oh, cool, that's right, there's like this other person who could like teach her, right? Okay, like that, and that is something she should do, even though I'm sure she could be helpful, being back in Nova Roma. But and then the other thing is, I mean, there's a lot of issues at Nova Roma, right? Like there's a lot of things that need to be like cleaned up, especially with the other guy, Galileo, now that he's out of the picture. So I think the dad has to like do some straightening up with how the government's run there and everything else. And it seems like women are not really safe in that environment right now. So if for those reasons, I would, if I was in his shoes, probably just want her to be away from all that stuff anyways too. So
fair. And who knows how many people were still loyal to the old way.
Totally. And that could go on for years.
Yeah.
So
great point.
Great splash page, by the way. Love that they took the moment
volcano
to give
eruption.
That. Yeah,
so
yeah.
Cool.
The coloring and all that stuff. It was really well. And even the shadowing, like the guy in the very front bottom right hand corner, the purple, like
purple,
dark, like the dark, shadows of where he's standing compared to everything else going on.
And there's another guy who's just his eyes, like his face. Yeah. He's like screaming. Yep. Yeah, so cool.
Good detail. Yeah.
Yeah. Sheila says that's why I always deal with women with experience, because something like this could happen. And you don't know.
Right?
Candace says Marvel has the best top-notch dad.
The best.
That's what we got. Well, let's continue on. We find that Rain has found a church, is seeking some redemption, feeling very guilty for what's happened in Nova Rome, but also feeling very guilty for her feelings for Sam, who of course times it beautifully and comes running in saying, there's a volcano in the harbor, and I think we caused it. We got to get out there and fix this. So interrupts her mid-prayer, and we find Amara running through the city streets, really just trying to figure out what is going on. I can't get control of her power. All the honking cars, all the shouting in Portuguese. She's really just at a loss as to what's going on. A nice police officer tries to help her, but another volcano erupts in the middle of the street. Now it's laying waste to the cars in the middle of this intersection, and the policeman's running around like, wait, what is going on? So everybody's freaking out. They've got to find Amara, and the team is running around. Of course, they put Rain on it, and she's like, oh my gosh, all I smell is sulfur. You guys don't smell that? It smells awful. and they're running around trying to find her. And meanwhile, Amara is starting to kind of daydream. It's almost like she's having weird visions. So lots of stuff going on here, Justin. Lots of things going on. You want to talk about Rain? You want to talk about Amara? Where do you want to go with this?
Yeah, so definitely like seeing this whole church scene with Rain. There's a lot going on in her mind with how she feels guilty with like kind of giving crap to Sam about the two sides of this whole Nova Roma storyline, and her technically being on the wrong side of it and realizing that now and feeling bad about it. Also jealous because, you know, this girl Amara's come into play and she feels that she sees Sam, you know, looking at her and liking her more and wanting to be with her more. And I think it's also very accurate for a kid her age who's just dealing with a lot and has a lot of emotions, you know, right now of how she feels about certain things. And that I just like that they took the time to build this into her story more, regardless of kind of what outcomes come from it. But just, I mean, it's a whole page of her in the actual, you know, church there. And she's even questioning like the church that she's in, like, you know, for what her beliefs are compared to the church she's in, which are technically not the same. And she's like, you know, if I'm in this, am I okay to be praying? You know, will God listen to me, even though I'm not in the church that, you know, that I normally pray and all these other things. So it's just a lot of little detail that I just appreciate that they took time to actually throw in there and give Rain, you know, a bit of time there. As far as Magma Amara going through the city, bad move by the cop, man. I know he's trying to be nice, but man, he touched her by the arm. She freaked out. I think he was trying to guide her and calm her down and everything, but like, man, she took that, you know, just started the truck flips as you see in that middle panel there. And she just freaks out. So, you know, but I do like, it is funny that, you know, was it in these pages? Or maybe it wasn't yet. Oh yeah, it was, where Bobby, you know, makes a little joke when they're like, where are we going to find Amara? And Bobby's like, I don't know, maybe we just, you know, see where, you know, her
look for the next volcano. Yeah.
I like that they kind of pointed that detail out. A little concern for, you know, what's going on with Amara right now. Her headaches technically started like 2 issues ago. These warm, you know, these feelings of kind of like being sick, essentially.
For sure. Candace says this is Chris Hansen needs to take a look at the city. Some of the perv action going on here.
The guy, the cop. Like, what the heck?
Yeah. Bobby says, "Don't interrupt me mid prayer. Lord forgive him." Right. Conlon says, "So many bikinis." I get it. JP has the same volcano problem. I guess that sounds rough. Magneto finally didn't cause this, right? Didn't do this. Thank goodness. Thank goodness.
Blame him anyway. So,
Fable, any thoughts here on Amara's deteriorating state and how the team is struggling to kind of help one of their own? Like you mentioned earlier, they need an Xavier, right? They need some guidance. Going to Rio to recover from losing a teammate still comes off as a bad call. Really, just not the vacation moment I think they should have taken.
Yeah, I agree. The only thing I could add to what Justin said is that I kind of find it strange that a person that can control lava is having a heat stroke. Does anybody like feel like that's kind of weird?
Yeah,
that the sun is bothering her so much.
It's like Iceman getting a little chilly.
It's like it would be like, yeah, I love this sun out here. I feel super powerful out here, but no, it's really messing with her.
It's bothering her.
Although there's that other side. I remember one time Xavier telling Scott, like, "Did you think that when?" That because Storm controls the weather, she doesn't get cold when she goes outside. Like, it's interesting to understand, like, what are the extents of her ability. Same with Bobby. Like, you know, I'm saying Bobby I'm talking about Iceman, right? Like Iceman, does he feel cold? Like, at what point does he feel temperature? That's an interesting discussion of character abilities, right?
Yeah.
All right. Well, let's see where these visions take poor Amara. She's really in it, like you're saying, feeling the heat, but she's also having this like godlike power almost taking over inside of her, and the joy and fear of what it all could mean. And she's walking that fine Jean Grey line of like, what does this mean for me as a person? Am I a monster? Am I a god? Am I just the person I've always been? And in a just horrible panicked sweat, she gains a little bit of control and sort of passes out. But Fable, this is like This is big Phoenix Jean Grey. I get a ton of Jean Grey Phoenix vibes, Dark Phoenix feelings here. What about you?
It looks like fire just makes anybody crazy.
Yeah, right?
Fire powered. Yeah, no, this is awesome because it looks like she's kind of intoxicated by her powers in a lot of ways. Like it feels like, Rain kind of has that thing going on too with herself. Because Rain often laments that as a dog or as a wolf, she feels better. She feels like in her element.
Yeah.
And that's kind of what this girl's going through magma when she's got her fire powers going, she feels unstoppable. It's like a drug almost. So this was cool that they took this time out to kind of like illustrate that and kind of show it. Again, Claremont, man, always with the character development. He's one of the best.
Yep.
Justin, we get two things I really like here, but I'm curious your thoughts because you had mentioned at the beginning that like you're not sure about this magma art design. For me, these are my favorite magma panels. There's some really kind of fun color work going on here, some good detail work, but also some like cosmic superpower godlike discussions here, very much in that Silver Surfer vein. What were your thoughts on some of these panels?
Yeah, I agree. I think and as I look closer to a lot of this stuff, I like that you can get some face expressions even in the white panel, or the panels with the white backgrounds, I should say.
Yeah,
and you see like her eyes are kind of sad or emotionless, like feeling certain types of ways. So I do like that. I love her hair, like when she's standing over the volcano and her hair is just like all fiery. Yeah, like that is a really, really great panel. And I guess really just the theory of it being that she's liquid magma, the art I imagine should be fairly forgiving because that is hard to like envision or to put on paper per se. So yeah, I think it looked really cool. And then for her to like have this, for a second we're questioning like, holy crap, wait, did she just like destroy all of Brazil? Like like you guys mentioned Phoenix and the Dark Phoenix style, like in an instance you see that city line being burned, but then her kind of waking up. And I like that not only did she snap out of it, but she compared herself to Selene and was like, no, I am not like that. She, and to Vabel's point, like she was eating it up, like the power, like it was taking over her in a way that felt good. And it was like, holy, like this is maybe I just burn everything, but I think that her true self kind of wakes herself up. And also she's just like, hey, I know what evil is, and I just saw and dealt with Selene. I am not that. So for her to yell no and kind of snap out of it and fall to the side, even though she's dealing with this temper or this this fever or whatever it is that she's kind of dealing with. But just nice to see her snap out of that. And I like how they took the time to draw that out. So
for sure. And somewhere Roberto's mom's like, we just saved this rainforest. Stop burning everything.
It's all
Jeez,
backfiring.
It's all coming back around. Thank you, Christina, for reminding people to hit the like button and dropping Fable's link again. So everybody is hopefully subscribed over there and checking out his Instagram while Bobby is singing hot. Magma's color work is so much better than Bobby's Peter Pan Shadow.
Very true. Yeah,
that's a fair comment. I think there's obviously a lot more detail in it. There's so much more to be able to utilize as far as the moving red waves inside of the yellow. Kind of does some cool things.
Yeah.
And let's see what happens next. The team is running around trying to find her, and Sam tries to pet his dog. My God,
real awkward.
It's such a bad moment. Like even as he's doing it, I was like, what the heck? And then she instantly calls him out. Don't do that, Sam. I'm not your bloody pet. I was like, just keep your hands and thoughts to yourself from now on. That's all I ask. I was like, yes, tell him. Scratch me behind my ear. No, thank you. Awkward. So they do track her down to a family in downtown in the city somewhere that found her and brought her in and is trying to ease her fever a little bit. But nobody on the New Mutants team is going to find patience for that. Instead, Bobby's like, I'm going to bust this door down because she's in there. Danny runs over and tries to check on her and sees what is it that she's feeling? What is she thinking? And finds that Amara is just wishing for her own demise. She is just looking for the end. and is just overwhelmed by the heat that she's experiencing. And so she turns to the team and is like, guys, she needs to be cooled down. And it's a good thing that right outside they found an ice truck. What ridiculous. But Bobby's like, I can lift it if you can fly us. And then they apparently do. They fly the ice truck back. They douse her in ice. And the whole family is like, look, we're in Rio. It's always hot. You guys are clearly tourists. You can't handle the heat down here. I don't know what's wrong. There's volcanoes everywhere. But that's it. That's how they cool her core and quench her soul of its fire by finding the ice truck down the street and dousing her in it. While apparently the volcano in the middle of the harbor calms down enough to create an island. Now there's an island in the harbor of Brazil that is named after Amara, probably. So yeah, that's how this wraps. Fable, what are your thoughts on the quick thinking of Danny and coming up with a solution with the ice truck?
Yeah, this ending was a little clunky. It really was. I thought it was a little goofy that, it was like, oh, you can fly and I can pick up this truck and then, how we're gonna land. I don't know. Let's not even show it. Let's go to the next story here.
Yeah. We don't even know what happened to the driver of the truck. He's like holding on for dear life. Like, what is happening right now?
Yeah, and now we got a bed of ice here. Now she's laying on this, intricately laid ice here as a bed, and then it's like, oh, and the volcano in the middle of the bay is boiling the ocean. Oh well, next issue. It's kind of weird, but
I mean, you're not wrong.
My favorite part, of course, is when Sam pets Rain, because it's such a good detail, right? It's such a setup for what's coming, man. You know what I mean? I want to know what's going to happen between these two in the next few issues, man.
Yeah, well said. And Candace says, "Bro, Sam, don't do it, Sam. Don't do it, Sam." Justin, any thoughts here on the ice truck amidst all odds? That incredible, really weird ending, as JP puts it.
Yeah, so definitely not quite the way I thought it was going to go down. I was hoping that, and it's even referenced in here in like the second or third to last page, where Danny is trying to do the reverse kind of visuals that she did to help Rain back in issue 7, New Mutant 7, or sorry 8, where she felt. Yeah, the rain.
She basically made snow, but it was an illusion, but it was enough to calm rain, right?
Yeah. So I was like, I was hoping that it would kind of be that in the same way and calm her down or cool her down. Because I mean, the mind's a powerful thing, right? If you can trick, your mind into thinking you're in the cold or whatever, that cools your body down or whatever. I thought that was going to kind of go that angle. It didn't. A part of that, though, that was thrown off was because of the fact that you see that picture up there, the Grim Reaper in the blue was her attempt at it, and instead it just goes to show that Amara's mind was very much like, even going back to those other panels from the last page, she wanted to die. Like she thought she was so dangerous that she shouldn't live, like, which is obviously very heavy for her to just immediately go to that after she's just acquired these new powers. So she is definitely dealing with a lot, as we see that with each of them, through all the mutants discoveries. But that was definitely a big moment I felt for that. And I like that it was in blue. I know we're getting a lot of the pink artwork when it comes to their visuals, mindsets, but I think that the blue to me was trying to be a representation of Danny using her powers for not fear, like for something else other than that.
Wish fulfillment, right? The desire.
Because she's getting better at it. She hasn't mastered it clearly, but it's like, she's trying to do both or be able to show different visuals. So I just like that I don't know, it's a very small detail. It might not have been even thought of as that, but I noticed that it was blue, and I think that that kind of came to mind for me on how they use that color. I
love that. Yeah. Cool.
The convenient truck thing, like, and I get maybe they're trying to overly force the whole team effort. We just said the last issue, like, hey, I like when we see the team effort. It's great. It all worked out in that way. But in this instance, it was very much just like, I don't know, just a little cheesy. Like, hey, you fly me up. I'll carry this truck because I'm strong. And we're going to throw the ice on her and then cool her off and, be done with it.
But I can make it one layer weirder.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, no, I mean, like, I don't know how weird. Like, Roberto obviously strong. He can lift the ice truck, but
Right.
Sam's got to lift Roberto and the ice truck.
Right. So he could. So, right. So
What the hell's Roberto even doing?
Is Roberto just the middleman? Could Sam
I'm
have
just
just done
saying,
that himself? Because
Sam is
Sam
carrying the
You know what I
truck
mean?
by proxy. Like
Yes,
he doesn't
he could have.
need
All right.
Roberto in this.
Yeah, he could have just done it himself. That's what I wonder too with his powers.
I don't understand
what
what
is he
Roberto
capable of?
doing. It's like he's got the baby in the baby carrier so that the baby can carry the other thing. Like, I don't understand. The Russian nesting dolls of this doesn't add up very well to me.
Yeah. One comment too on the petting portion there. So yeah, very cringe.
I just spit all over myself.
Very, very cringe. Very no for Sam. And I feel bad for Rain because again, and she's younger than Sam. I think she's the youngest, right? Technically, out of all of them.
I think she is.
But she's got some feelings for Sam, and that like she was automatically placed in the friend zone. I felt like, and I've been there, being placed in the friend zone. It is not a good feeling at all when you have a crush on somebody, and so I felt really, really bad for Rain. It was very awkward. And to Fable's question, I'm very curious to see how their relationship kind of carries on from this because. They didn't even show how that ended, that conversation. It's those 3 panels up near you, John, and that was all they got. Yes, very much so in the doghouse.
Friend
zoned. Fair.
Yeah,
it was
the doghouse.
Worse. It was definitely worse than that. So I don't know. Yeah,
pet zone.
I'm glad she said something. In there. But I almost wanted to see more of his reaction. He did stutter and apologize. He's like, I wasn't trying to do that. Didn't make you feel that way. And I know like Sam is a good guy. Like, we feel that Sam's a good guy. I know he doesn't mean anything negative by that, but he also, it's an idiot move in that regard, not considering her feelings or
for sure.
Maybe he's just oblivious and maybe just went over that. I don't know, but either way, it's brutal. So
she's got the body self-image. I don't know. What is that called? Where you think
negative self-image, like negative self-esteem.
Yeah. She commented many times throughout the issues that her hair doesn't grow, and that bothers her. You know what I mean?
She wants to be viewed as a woman and not as like a pet, right?
Yeah.
That's seeing Sam view her as more of a pet is obviously very infuriating and demeaning in some ways to her, right?
Yeah. Agreed.
Yeah. Let's see. The moral of the story is if you can't handle the heat, get into the ice truck. Bobby's got it.
Comment of the night right there. Right
so what you're saying is the ice cream man could be used for good. I'm intrigued. Lieutenant Dan, I got you some ice cream.
That should have been
ice
the
cream.
Right?
Lieutenant Dan, ice cream. So good.
That.
I can only hear Tom Hanks's voice in that whole thing. They left Karma in the bay, like in the ocean somewhere, like way up north before they went down to Rio. They left her a long time ago. Bobby says, or Adam says, that's how center of mass works. He can carry Bobby and Bobby can carry the truck, right? That's how that works. Yes, we talked a little light petting. That's important. It was important to the story. All right, let's wrap this up with our scores. We like to finish by giving CGC grades to these books. Justin, we're going to start off with you. We can separate them out if you want to give 11 and 12 their own grades, or if you want to lump them together. You let us know what are your thoughts on 11 and 12.
All right. So the funny thing about this moment of our show, John, is that for whatever reason, normally when it's on your channel and you ask me this question, I never once consider planning ahead before answering your question. Every time you ask it, I'm like,
it's a surprise.
Crap. Yeah, I'm like,
and I love doing this because I know you're not ready. And I know that there's a part of you that's like, I just don't want to make anybody upset. If I really hate this one and you guys really loved it, I don't want to. So there's an instant like self-doubt that happens to Justin when I throw this to him that I kind of enjoy.
Yes. So with all that said, I actually put some thought into it before we went live tonight on this particular question. So I'm ready. I was ready to answer this. So I'm going to split them in two here. I think the first issue 11, overall was my favorite of the two. I really enjoyed it. I'm going to put it up there at a 9.2, 9.4 ish. You guys, choose white pages, like Bobby points out. The second issue, there were a lot of little moments that I really appreciated from a character development standpoint. I felt like the ending kind of fell a bit flat there, as you guys both pointed out. I agree with you there that the ice truck kind of fell short for me. But I love the artwork in this one, and I did really appreciate some of those little moments with Rain, especially, and then also Magma. I'm really liking Amara and learning more about Magma. So this was very much an origin kind of story for me, and also just where she is mentally right now, her mindset or her mind state of herself, the world right now, and how she's dealing with her powers. So I think it's still a very important issue. I say all that to say that I would give the second issue an 8.5, which I think is still respectable. I still really enjoyed it, ending a little flat, but there was so much other stuff that was in there that was very strong in my opinion. So I'm gonna go 9.294 for the first one and 8.5 for the second one.
There you go. What about you, Fable? How do you want to grade these two issues for us?
Well, issue 11. I thought was a good wrap up to something I probably wouldn't have found interesting to begin with. Like, you know what I mean? Like, oh, we're in the Amazon hidden city. I'm like, whatever.
And it's ancient Rome, and there's gladiators. And
what is this crap?
What are you doing here? But I thought it had a lot of great moments. Magma, of course, and Selene, two big characters in X-Men universe. So I'll give it an 8.5. And then this number 12, I think it's an in-betweener, right? It's like a cool down, for what was going on.
Literally.
And we do find right, literally. We do find out some stuff about, more character development, which is great in these in-betweeners. This is what you're supposed to do anyway. But I thought it was a little weird in a lot of ways because, like I said, I mean, I find it strange that a character that's named Magma is having a heat stroke. I don't know. I find that strange. I also find it strange that she's just. I mean, what she's doing to Rio de Janeiro, right? That's where she's at, Brazil.
Yeah,
she's killing people. I'm sorry, all those earthquakes and mountains coming out of the floor and stuff. I think it's a little much. And this ending, these last three panels, like it looks like the end of a sitcom. Like
it's like Archie all of a sudden.
Yeah.
Next school, Daisy Daisy. I don't know what they're trying to spell there. So I'll give this a 7.0, man.
That's fair, and I'm right in the same boat. I'm gonna take Justin's 9.4 and give it to the first issue. I think that's a very fair score for that. And then I'm gonna go 7. I'm gonna take Fable's 7.0 and give it to this issue. So overall, I'm somewhere in that 8.5, maybe when you combine them both together. This one was just really clunky. The second issue, even when it was skipping back and forth to Nova Roma, and I was like, "What's going on there?" And it was not paced very well, and the emotional impact for some of the scenes weren't as strong. Even if the character moments were kind of interesting for people like Rain, I think overall it was just a little clunky. Versus, watching Bobby just absolutely annihilate Nova Rome and just like he's like, I'm gonna kill the piranha guy, I'm gonna set all the slaves free and start a revolution. I'm gonna kill the witch and throw her down and melt her and then bury her. I'm gonna go and tell my dad off and take over the company. I'm doing all of it. I'm just taking everything. He really shined a lot here, Bobby.
He did.
So those are my grades. In the chat, we appreciate you dropping your grades in there. Bobby Letaghetto. Bobby is saying 9.6. And then a 9.5 white hot magma page.
There you go. Yeah, white hot magma. I love it.
And we got John Cali Comics back with us. What's going on, John? Appreciate you, sir. Let's see here. Did I miss any good comments? Does she shed? I don't know. The adventures of Dog Girl continue. There you go. JB says, I feel like the magma stuff should have been her powers were caused her to overheat, not that she got a heat stroke from being warm outside and flirting with Brazilian men and mankinis. Fair. I added that a little bit, JP, but I knew you meant it.
Yeah.
Well, let's take a look at the stats and the numbers for these issues. Obviously, I had to include something, so I said it's the third appearance of Selene.
Sure. There you go.
Why? But it is an interesting evolution of Amara's powers because we get to see her officially learning about her abilities. We saw her in one splash page becoming Magma in the previous issue, but these two issues are really all focused on her abilities as she joins the New Mutants here. So issue 11, a 9.8 for $48. And issue 12, a 9.8 for $80. So really just cheap books that aren't really sought after a ton as far as high grades. Most people collect this run raw, except for maybe a couple issues. I just was curious on your thoughts, gentlemen, if you had any thoughts on slabbing these books, collecting these books, getting them in any kind of a grade beyond, raw. Any thoughts here, Justin?
No, I think these are both raw books for me. I think they look nice. I don't think I own either of these yet. I think I own issue 10, but I'd like to get 10, 11, 12, or maybe 9, 10, 11, 12, get them together for Fables. Throw up your set Saturday, I think would be a perfect layout of all of them, especially with Magma, seeing her growth on these covers. I think would look really cool together. So shout out to the hashtag throw your sets up Saturday Fable, baby. Love it. Keep it going.
Yeah. Or Figgy Friday, get yourself a Magma figure and put it all together. Fable, any thoughts on these numbers? Any thoughts about, would you ever consider slabbing these books? Are these raw books? Are these omnibus books? What do you think?
Oh, well, I'm not a slabber, so I would never slab anything. That's just me personally. I think the books worth slabbing were the few issues before, because we get Celine and we get Amara for the first time.
Sure.
But if I think the prices are kind of right, at least for number 11, because we get Magma and her powers, how she looks. You know what I mean? Yep. For the first time in 11. I think 12 is. I don't think it should be worth what I'm seeing over here.
$80 is
I'm surprised. I would think it'd be the other way around. If anything, I would think this first one would have been the one that was a little more expensive. But
or it could just be there's just not a ton of sales data because these books don't come up in 9.8 a ton, so that could be some of it too.
Yeah, but they're pretty covers for sure. Yep. Some of the best so far up to this point.
Yep. And agreed. Candace says the same thing. Great covers, maybe not worth slabbing. And then Callie says CGC is going to get a CGC headstone from my grave. There you go. All right. Well, I'm gonna stop sharing the slideshow and get us back to full size here as we were. Thanks everybody for hanging out with us. We got 14 people here in the chat for trivia time. Thank you for hanging around with us. As a reminder, we're going to ask questions about the previous show that we did over on Justin's channel, looking at issues 9 and 10 from this run. So the questions will be centered around those issues, but we're not just looking for correct answers. Of course, we'll give points for the first 2 correct answers in the chat, but we'll also give points for people who give funny answers, the best wrong answers. And Fable is going to pick a favorite each time around. So we're going to get 12 new entries on our giveaway wheel here, so that when June comes around, we can just have more and more of you people, awesome people in the chat, getting opportunities to win stuff, because we give away a lot of good stuff. If you there's an unboxing link down below just of one of the prizes that Magic Lasso won this last round. So lots of goodies. Getting on the wheel is a good thing. So make sure you're here. And yes, hashtag if he's in the chat, although I haven't seen him tonight.
Haven't seen him tonight.
You got a chance here to get ahead. And I haven't seen Old Wolf a lot, although I think he's on Marcus's stream, so he might be distracted. So good time for that as well. So here we go. We got 4 questions. Justin, you want to kick us off with your first question here?
Sure. All right. So remember, these are based on New Mutants issues 11 and 12f from last episode.
No, 10. Oh, 9 and 10.
9 and 10. 9 and 10. I'm reading.
Don't mess it up.
The wrong notes here. My first question is, how did Danny shock or wake up Sam and Roberto out of their drugged state when they were fighting each other in the arena? So
gladiatorial battle.
Back in issue 9, they were in the arena. They're fighting. Everybody was kind of drugged up, or drunk on wine and all these other things. What was it that Danny did to kind of snap those 2 out of it, to bring them back to reality? Because they were just having at it. They were drugged up in berserker mode of some sort with what these drugs have done, and they were fighting. So something that she had to do to kind of wake them up.
Callie says she marked her territory in wolf form, which I didn't know. I know Danny can control or speak to animals, but I don't know.
True.
Slapped them and said, "Snap out of it," like Cher.
Sometimes that's
a Cher move. JP beat you to your own joke, Lasto. To your own joke. She asked Glinda, the good witch, to make it snow.
It's Galinda.
Yeah, right.
Good one, Adam.
A good old-fashioned 70s slap to the face. A lot of people say slap him. She started trying on different bikinis, and that's gonna completely break them out of it. So far, I've got only one like reasonably close correct answer. I don't know how you feel, Justin, but I don't see two yet.
I don't see two yet. I do see one that I would give.
Oh, I missed Las
you see,
Cruces
I was gonna say
she flashed him.
She
flashed him. She just straight up flashed him. And so did Lasso. I missed his. This was a joke from last time when we had to teach Justin what TNA was. So showed a little T and then showed a little A. So there you go.
I thought TNA was like another, wrestling
right
show. WWE, TNA,
So I feel like I'm going to call it because I think we got one answer given twice. One correct answer twice.
Yeah.
The same guy gave the correct answer.
Oh, did he give it? Did he say it twice?
Yeah, he did it again. I got you, Tony.
He did.
I'm not skipping you.
All right. Yeah. There it is. Yeah.
And I guess JP snuck in there if you want to give it to JP.
Oh, he did do the copy paste. All right, we'll give it to JP as well.
All right, so JP and Tony. Let's see, Old Wolf, and where's JP on here? There's no way this is JP's first correct answer.
Oh, is it his first time on the board?
I'm gonna write JP in. I don't see JP on here anywhere.
So I'm gonna show the page here just so everybody remembers.
But yeah, let me get rid of this. Whoop. So let's see, Justin.
There he is when she uses his the expectation that Professor X is like, hey, we have a meeting, get together, like that whole scary thing. She kind of showed his head, on top of
nothing gets you out of a blood rage than a big ass Professor X.
Right, exactly. Brings you right back to Earth,
JP says she says if you behave, we can go to Bikini Beach. That's another way to do it, right? It is JP's first. Okay, awesome. Fable, did you like any of those answers? Was there any in there that you were like, that was the good one? Any favorites?
Yeah, I gotta go with La Cruces and she flashed them because
Las Cruces.
Yeah, that would make me snap out of my blood. You know what I'm saying? Like Danny Moonstar, like come on, that's easy.
No more blood rage. All right, gang. So let's go to the second question. It's going to be my turn to ask a question here. My first question is, Sam tries to calm Rain down. I want the exact 3-word answer. What are the 3 words that Sam says to Rain to calm her down? What does he say to her?
It's a great question and a good layup question for for funny answers as well.
Yeah, this should be good. Yeah,
I want the 3-word answer. Right? Mm-hmm. What are the 3 words he says to calm Rain down? Obviously, this week he tried to pet her like a dog.
He went the petting route.
Yep.
Sam is just not. He's got to work on himself.
He says, "Here, dog girl." He says, "Here, dog girl. Here,
dog girl." Yeah,
he's carry your shit. He says, "Woman, calm thyself." He says, "Want a treat?"
That's good.
He says, "Sit, roll over."
These are all fantastic.
He says, "Beer's on me." He says, "Calm down, girl. Calm down, girl. Down." I love the spelling here. He says, "Clam your shit." Oh, Tony. I like that you fixed it without me telling you. He says, "I love it with the question mark, like Ron Burgundy. I love you."
I love you.
Woman, my spelling is atrocious tonight. That's all right. I get it. Professor X is a jerk.
That's a great answer.
Diana Ross concert. Here's what I will tell you right now. Even though Bobby got really close, this is actually not the 3 words.
Yeah.
But this is really dang close.
Yeah.
So if anybody can actually get it right now, Candace.
That's great.
I mean, really close. Really fair. I've that works, right? That works.
Yeah.
I use that at my house all the time.
It's so funny to picture Sam say that.
You hear me? You hear me? That's what he says. So still no correct answers, but Fable, did you have a favorite wrong answer?
Everybody was doing the calm your ish, but I think Candace stole it with the calm your tits.
Callie said Candace. Candace, I almost choked.
Yeah, I think
Right.
she stole it.
I love the respect my authority. The correct answer, and I'm going to give Bobby a point because he's the only one that came close to it, was mind your elders. He said, mind your elders.
Mind your elders.
Really not going to. It's not going to go. But Bobby, you came the closest on that, so I'm rewarding you a point for that, my sir.
Mind your elders before I pet you. Yeah.
All right, Justin. Third question. Now is yours.
Yep. So during the scene when Roberto and Rain were talking, Castro, the evil character Castro, was hiding behind the curtains. What did Castro do to Roberto in that scene? This is from technically issue 10. There's a scene where Roberto, it's a kind of a quieter scene. Roberto's catching up with Rain, checking in on her, making sure she's all right. And out of nowhere, Castro pops out from behind the curtain. What did Castro do to Roberto? Technically, it was referenced in these 2 issues that we talked about briefly.
I don't know that I brought it up, did I? I think I skipped over that part.
I don't think you did. No, it was such a minute.
Bobby references it though,
but
in the issue, yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
You
almost forget. Actually, you almost forget about it.
Threw piranhas with lasers at him. That's what they did.
I mean, hey, that Castro, that's what he does, you know.
Quick, Bobby, give me the answer quietly. Punked him for his lunch money. That's what you got to do. Gave him a wedgie. Oof,
brutal.
He said, "Ta-da!" Jumped out from behind the curtain. There it is. I knew what you meant, JP. I know what you meant. Another wedgie. 2 wedgies. One from Las Cruces and one from Lasso. Bobby says, offered him drugs.
I mean, there were a lot of drugs. Yeah.
People you want to get high? Right. You want to get high?
Darts. The darts were,
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Cooked him a lobster dinner.
Oh, there you go. That sounds good.
You've got to bat your eyes like this. You bat your eyes. See, piranhas are on the endangered species list, says Adam. We have sea bass.
There you go.
Okay. All right. Took him inside and served pancakes. Ooh. Oh my goodness. I only see one correct answer. We're struggling on the correct answers this week, but I think we had one, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, let me I didn't, if we did, I missed it.
I think I'm just gonna say it. I think it's this one.
Yeah, magic.
Oh, yeah. Okay, I missed that. Yeah. I was looking for. He shot him. I think fired a gun is just as accurate. So Lasso will give you that point there.
Lasso gets the point on the correct answer.
Yeah.
Did you have a favorite wrong answer, Fable, that you liked?
Yeah, I'm gonna go with JP with threw piranhas with lasers at him.
There it is.
That seems to be Castro's MO, is let's just throw piranhas at people.
He's a wacky guy, man. He's the piranha. He's always gonna be the piranha man to me. You said he shot him, Old Wolf? Where? Let me go back.
He said he shore him. He shore him.
He shore him? So I see fired a gun.
Cooked him. All I see is the lobster line from Tony.
Maybe it got blocked out.
Oh no, yeah, no. I said sure. No, I don't see
it. Somebody can see it on
we can give it to Tony.
Look up.
We can give it to Tony. So we didn't have a second one. We can technically it's kind of like a copy and paste at that point, even though they wrote shore. Not
if anybody can see it in the chat, let me know. Like I it doesn't show up on here. It might have blocked it on here. All right, last question. The last question is when discussing Celine and how she appeared, you had to watch the show for this one. Justin went on a bit of a discussion, and it's funny because I kind of referenced it again tonight. Justin compared Celine to a TV reality show personality. Based on kind of like how she came out and the way she acted. He felt like Celine was akin to a reality TV show personality. What personality did Justin say was captured by Celine in that moment?
This is good and good little hints. Yeah, you did kind of re-reference.
Colin says Snooki. I mean,
that's the first thing that came to my mind.
I feel like every joke Magic Lasso has tried to type tonight, he's either copying and pasting somebody else's joke, or they beat him to it barely. Look at all the Snookies in the chat.
That's the first thing that
They
came
did
to
it
my
all
mind.
for the Snooki. For the Snooki. At least, I think this is the correct spelling. I don't know.
Yeah, I think that is.
That's how I would spell it. I don't know. Justin said, "Blame Fable."
Yeah, that's a good answer. It's a good answer.
It's just like that's how Celine was. She's just like Fable.
I have said those words plenty of times.
I've been on
we all blame
shows,
Fable for something.
Yeah. We all have blamed Fable once in our life, at least.
I did make a reference tonight to that reality show. And if you know the host of that reality show, it's tricky to spell, though. I know.
Yeah.
Richard Dawson. Yeah. The original Family Feud. That's what it's all about. It's not me. Jeez, JP.
Jeez.
Good Lord. You guys.
I should try to find that scene again.
Right?
Forget which one.
We do have a correct answer in the chat. We got Bob Ross, though, as an option with those
Nice.
happy trees. Happy trees.
Somebody's got to do some copy paste.
It was not Diana Ross. I've never known her to be a reality TV host, but hey.
Magic had a weird obsession with Diana Ross tonight.
Oh, it's every night. Oh, it's every
I'll
night.
give a couple of seconds, but the correct answer was right here. I'll see if it. It looked right as I clicked. Candace dropped it.
I was going to say, come on, Candace, you know this one.
It was Jeff Probst. He said, no, it's like they were standing around with all of his minions, and they were all carrying their little torches. It was like, who's going to be the survivor? Who's going to survive? Yep. So Magic Lasso and Candace both with the points on Jeff Probst. Any comedy answers you like there, Fable? Any comedy answers that worked for you? There's a lot of Snookies.
If you guys don't know, Justin is the originator of saying blame Fable. So we're gonna give it to Chill Out Man because
Chill Out.
He's on point with that one.
And now he is officially on the list for the giveaway too. So boom. Sometimes one is all you need. There's been several people who've won big prizes from our giveaways, just having that one entry. Female, they said female personality. You name any personality, reality TV show personality.
This was like part of the scenes here.
There's the image. Yep.
As they were all walking,
marching them all in with their torches, standing around the lava.
Yeah, the lava down here. Yeah.
There they are, right in the circle.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. It was definitely elimination night.
It was a survivor night, yes.
Obviously, massive thank you to Fable for joining us and talking some new mutants, brother. We always love having you on. Always love hanging out and talking with comics with you, man. You're so much fun. And you guys need to hit all those links, all the links down below, so that you're following Fable and catching up on all the goodies, including the link I dropped earlier. And I might still have it in my. Let's see if I can. Yeah, I still have it saved. This is the latest, all new, all different Blame Fable show that happened Friday, the live stream that you should definitely be adding to your watch list when you've got the time to check in on that because it's worth it. Absolutely. And the tribe has spoken. Absolutely.
Torch. That's right.
And then next week, we're over on Justin's channel for issues 13 and 14. Yeah. So make sure you're following Justin. Make sure you're subscribed over there and hit that notification bell because we go live. You want to be there in the chat for all of that.
That's right. That's right.
Awesome.
Can't wait. Looking forward.
Huge thank you, all you guys in the chat for hanging out with us. And we will see you guys all again in 1 week for more New Mutants.
Yep. Sounds good.
Peace.
Station.